Hey everybody, how's it going? Thiago here, and welcome to another episode of the podcast. Did you know that it's possible to sound more advanced in English without necessarily learning more advanced words? As a matter of fact, the English language is full of quote unquote basic words that can also be used in more advanced ways. So stick around because for today's episode, I have compiled 20 basic words in English that can also be used in more advanced ways, because sometimes improving your vocabulary is not necessarily about learning new words, but just learning how to use the words you already know in different ways. Before I get into today's topic, I want to share something important with you. I was looking into the analytics of my YouTube channel here, and I noticed that more than 60% of people who watch my videos are not subscribed. So if you have already watched 2 or 3 of my videos here, and if you have learned from them, if you feel like the videos I'm putting out here are helping you improve your English, subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber yet. This is a free way that you can support my work here and help the channel grow even faster. The more people subscribe, the faster the channel grows, and the more this channel can be accessed or impact more people who also need to improve their English skills. So do me this favor, subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber yet, and your subscription will allow me to keep creating content for you here week after week. Okay? So thank you very much. I appreciate your support. All right, so let's get into the first word here that I have, which is run. The word run is quite basic. Look at this example. The dog likes to run in the park. But you can also use it when talking about a company or a business, for example. Check it out. The company's operations are running smoothly under the new management. You see? The company's operations are running smoothly. This is the same meaning as running a business, for example. Imagine you open up a restaurant in your city. You can say that now you are running a business in your city, or you are running a restaurant. You see, that's a more advanced way, even a more professional way of using the word run. Next word, break. Don't break that vase. Okay, pretty straightforward. But what about the negotiations reached a breaking point when neither side would compromise? Also, pay attention here to the whole chunk, the whole collocation, to reach a breaking point. When something reaches a breaking point, it ruptures. Okay? And I love this word, compromise. When you compromise, you make sacrifices. For example, imagine you have 2 people negotiating a deal. Person A wants A, B, and C. Person B also wants their own A, B, and C. But in order for them to reach a final deal, they have to compromise. Maybe they have to let go of one of their terms and just go for A and B. This is compromising, or this is making a sacrifice. Okay? Next basic word, set. Please set the table for dinner. This is a more common way to use the word set that is more basic. You set the table for dinner. In other words, you prepare the table for dinner, or you set your alarm clock on your phone before going to bed at night. That's fine. But what about the artist created a set design that perfectly captured the mood of the play? So you see, in this context of movies, plays, we also have the set design. It's how the set looks. The set is the place where a scene in a movie, for example, takes place. The furniture there, the decoration, that's the set. And there are usually people responsible for designing the set according to the show, according to the story, according to the scene. Okay? What about the word light? Light is a nice one. Like, turn on the light. It's dark in here. That's the basic meaning of the word. But I could also say something like, the author's use of light imagery symbolizes hope and renewal. You see, so light imagery. Think about it as using metaphors with the word light. Okay? For example, after years trying to get a better job, she finally saw the light at the end of the tunnel. You see, this is an example of light imagery. I'm using light imagery here. I'm not talking about light per se, the literal meaning of light, but I'm using light as a symbol, as a metaphor. The light at the end of the tunnel, which in this case, it means hope, right? Like finally, something good is going to come my way. Okay? We also have the word note, like taking notes during a lecture or taking notes during a class. That's the primary meaning. But in music, for example, the notes are, the sounds you play on an instrument, or even a singer hits when the person sings. For example, the musician's ability or the singer's ability to hit the high notes was impressive. You see, that's another use for the word note. What about the word right? Turn right at the next corner. Like when given directions, turn right. Okay. But that word is often used also in the context of law or citizenship in general. Like the lawyer argued for her client's right to a fair trial. You see? So right in this case means things that you have the right to have. Like, everybody has the right to have a fair or just trial. As a citizen of your own country, you also have some rights, right? You see, I'm using the same word in different ways. We also have the word state. What state do you live in? Fine. What state do you live in? Okay. But what about the president will deliver the State of the Union address tonight? The State of the Union. The State of the Union is usually a message given by the president in the US at the beginning of the year to the Congress, talking about the plans for the year, the current challenges the country is facing, and things of that nature. So that's the State of the Union, okay? Or the state of the condition, let's say, of the nation at that moment. And I love this word here, address. The State of the Union address. The president will deliver the State of the Union address tonight. The word address here means a formal speech, okay? A formal speech that has been prepared and that is delivered by a speaker, that is called an address, okay? A very common use of that word is the commencement address. The commencement address is a formal speech that is usually given by someone during a graduation ceremony. Imagine students in college or university who are graduating. They have the graduation ceremony, and then to kick off the ceremony, to start the ceremony, the university usually invites a celebrity or a person who has already studied in that university to give the commencement address, to give the formal speech that will open the ceremony, okay? I think one of the most famous commencement addresses ever is Steve Jobs' commencement address that he gave at Stanford University in 2005. I know that Jim Carrey, the actor, has also given one or a couple of commencement addresses, so that's it. That's a commencement address. That's a formal speech to start the ceremony. We also have here line, the word line. For example, if you have to pay for a bill at a bank, if you are there in person, you have to stand in line waiting for your turn, right? You have to stand in line or stand in a straight line. Or when you go grocery shopping, before checking out, you have to stand in line for your turn. But you could also say the company's bottom line improved significantly this quarter. You see, in this business context, a company's bottom line is the company's net profit. It's the actual profit. It's the money the company made after deductions, expenses, taxes. It's the profit. That's the company's bottom line. Okay? We also have the word form, like filling out a form. Okay, if you want to apply for something, usually they give you a form and you have to fill it out. Okay, but what about this use? The sculptor's work is a unique form of abstract expressionism. So in this case, a unique form is a unique way, a unique approach of abstract expressionism. All right? What about the word fine? That word is so common, right? Hello, how are you? I'm fine. How about you? Right? Well, that's the basic use of the word. I'm fine. I feel fine today. But what about the museum houses a fine collection of Renaissance art? You see, in this case, a fine collection is a very excellent collection. It's something of the highest, purest quality, like a fine restaurant. Like, I love to dine in fine restaurants. You see, fine restaurants, restaurants of the highest quality. Are you enjoying the episode? Great. I just want to take a moment here to remind you that my new pronunciation course is already available for pre-sale. This is a pronunciation course I've created to help you speak English with more clarity, more fluency, and more flow without having to spend too many hours per day practicing. The lessons are short, to the point, bite-sized to help you improve your pronunciation skills. The course is divided into connected speech and the sounds of English, meaning that in this course, you get to learn how native speakers in movies, media in general, or even in real life, cut, reduce, and connect sounds in English so they can speak with more flow and faster. So that's great knowledge for you to better understand what you hear and also speak with more flow. And the second part of the course is about sounds of the English language, the main sounds of the English language that maybe you might be struggling with. We have the L, the M, the TH sound, and others. So if you want to take your pronunciation to the next level, speak English with more fluency, more clarity, more flow, the course is available at a very special discounted price on pre-sale. This price won't last forever. It's just for now while it's on pre-sale. So make sure you secure that special discount and get into the course now because the price will increase in the near future. Okay? Let's get back to the episode. All right, we also have the word bank. For example, I need to go to the bank to deposit a check. That's the basic meaning. But what about the river overflowed its banks during the flood? In this context, the banks of a river are the external sides of the river. You know, it's the area alongside the river that usually prevents the river from flooding or spreading out, okay? Or that is usually used for recreation as well. Like, you know, if you want to go fishing and you want to go fishing at a river, usually you stay on the riverbank, on the bank of the river. That's the place where you stay to go fishing, okay? You see, same word, different meaning, okay? What about the word power? Another great basic word that is commonly used. The power went out during the storm. Okay, so when you lose electricity at home, we can say that the power went out. But what about this meaning? His ascent to power was astronomical. You see, power in this case means to be in a highly ranked position. It's about a higher rank, a higher position, higher status, more influence in society. You have power, okay? And ascent is the rise, okay? So his ascent to power, his rise to power was astronomical, like incredibly fast, okay? We also have the word hard. The test was really hard. English pronunciation can be hard sometimes, but hopefully with my new course, it won't be as hard. Got it? But you can also say that the company is working hard to meet its deadlines. In this case, to work hard is to work with intensity, with focus, not necessarily hard in terms of level of difficulty. You see? What about the word green? Green is a color, like the grass is green. Okay. But you can also say the company is committed to green initiatives to reduce its carbon footprint. In this case, green initiatives, this is about initiatives towards helping the planet survive, helping the environment thrive. Okay? Green initiatives, maybe reducing pollution. That's a green initiative. All right? What about the word sound? The alarm clock makes a loud sound. Okay. Or the sound of music, the sound of children playing. Okay. But check this out. The speaker presented a sound argument for investing in renewable energy. You see, in this context, a sound argument, it's a valid argument. It's an argument that is logical, coherent, it makes sense, and it has a valid conclusion. That's a sound argument the person provides. I love the collocation. Wow, you are providing a sound argument here. It's so sound, your argument, that it is irrefutable. When something is irrefutable, you can't fight back. You can't argue against because, that's it. This is a great argument. It's a sound argument. I have nothing to say. Let's do it. Okay? The word change. I need to change my clothes. Okay. But what about the invention of the internet has brought about a profound change in how we communicate? So again, focus here on the chunk, on the collocation, to bring about a profound change in something. That's a great phrase, isn't it? That's an excellent phrase. So to bring about, in this case, it means to cause, to generate. Okay? Something profound is something deep, something significant. Has brought about a profound change. You see? So here you're talking about the state of something that maybe has been forever changed, forever altered. What about the word watch? I like to watch movies. Do you like to watch movies? Okay, that's the basic meaning. But I can also say the security guard was on watch all night. In this context, the security guard was working at the place, guarding the place, on watch. He was attentive. He was looking around, making sure that nothing out of the ordinary happened. He was on watch. Okay? He was watching or surveilling the place. What about the word plant? We need to water the plants. Okay. I have many plants at home. They're beautiful. Okay. But what about this use? The chemical plant released a statement assuring the public that the recent incident had been contained and posed no further risk to the environment. So in this context here, we are talking about a factory, okay? Like the chemical plant is like a factory that produces chemicals, okay? That's a plant or a power plant. It's a place, it's a company, a factory that generates, that creates power. That's a power plant, okay? The word check. Please check your answers before submitting your form. Okay. But check it out. The company's board of directors implemented a new ethics committee to provide a check on the CEO's decision-making power and ensure transparency in company operations. So here again, the phrase is to provide a check on something. When you provide a check on something, you find a way to control that something, to put some limitations on that something. Like in this case, provide a check on the CEO's decision-making power. In other words, to limit the CEO's decision-making power. You provide a check on that. Okay? And finally, I have here the word key. I can't find my house key or my car key. I've lost it. But the key to success is hard work, dedication, and timing. You see, in this case, the key to success is the main point or the crucial element of success. The key, the most important thing, is hard work, dedication, and timing. Okay? Same word, different context. And you are using a basic word with a more advanced meaning in a slightly more advanced way. It's not just about learning new words, guys, but also about learning how to use the words you already know in different ways, in different contexts, like we did today. All these words by themselves are pretty basic, and they usually have a primary meaning. But you see how many things we can also communicate in various situations using the same 20 words. So the takeaway I would like you to have for this episode is this. Think to yourself, how else can I use the words I already know in English? Maybe you can make a list of 10, 20, 30 words you already know that easily come to your mind. And then think about first the primary meaning that comes to your mind when you look at those words. And then as a follow-up, think to yourself, okay, are there any other meanings to these words that I don't know about? Or are there other situations aside from these that I listed that would allow me to use those words? Probably yes. So then your next step would be looking up those words in a good dictionary, like the Cambridge Dictionary, the Oxford, Longman, the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, or even using AI, ChatGPT, Gemini, Bing, to learn maybe secondary, tertiary meanings of those 20, 30 words you already know. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope you found it useful for your English and your vocabulary. Again, don't forget to check out my newest pronunciation course available on pre-sale. To learn more about the course, the link to the page is in the show notes, also as a pinned comment here in the comment section. Speaking of Apple and Spotify, leave me a 5-star review on those platforms because that also helps me a lot there. And back here on YouTube, again, subscribe to the channel so you can help the channel grow even further. Okay? I'm signing off. I'm Thiago. Thank you so much, and I'll be talking to you very soon in the upcoming video. Take care.